All right, back for another beer review, and today is Wednesday, which of course means it's time for another Western New York Wednesday here on the channel. And the beer I'm reviewing today comes from Pressure Drop Brewing, and they're out of Buffalo, New York. And this is their Buckstar. So they are calling this a coffee cream porter. Comes in at 5.2% alcohol by volume, 35 IBUs, and at the time of review, this beer is approximately a month old, give or take a few days. So basically, this is an American porter, and they're brewing this with Colombian coffee beans from Undergrounds Coffee House and Roastery, which is also located in Buffalo, New York. They call it a coffee cream porter, but I don't think they're using lactose, so I don't know where they're getting the cream apart from. I guess we'll see. And I featured Pressure Drop before on Western New York Wednesdays, but I think I've done 2 beers from them, but both times they were actually collaborations with other local Buffalo, New York breweries. This is the first time that I'm doing a solo beer from them, so we'll see what this one's all about. Let's give it a pour. Coffee cream porter sounds divine. Hopefully it's quite tasty. I don't want beer to go everywhere, so I don't want to crack this. It's definitely overfilled. Yeah, oh, so many of these beers. Whatever, I'm getting a sneak peek here. So many of these beers have been overfilled over the, I don't know, past couple weeks I've been reviewing beers. Just like, I mean, I hate complaining about free beer and extra beer, right? Like to the top, but I mean, come on, man. When you crack it open, you don't want beer to go everywhere, yet it has been. So, wow, that looks actually quite beautiful. Wow. So this pours out this really deep, dark brown color. You're going to see on camera it's probably more black, maybe not, but it has, you know, like light brown tinges to the bottom here, but deep dark brown color, about a finger and a half of a straight up mocha color head, maybe lighter tan into mocha. Very creamy looking, cream porter, sure. Look at that. That head is awesome. The lacing should be great. Yeah, looks beautiful. Let's get a nose on it. Yeah, really nice coffee roast there. It's not super intense or bold. You know what this actually smells like? It smells like a really nice dark roast coffee with a little bit of milk and sugar in there, or I should say cream and sugar in there. Definitely has a sweeter, maybe they are using lactose in this. Yeah, I want to say they are using lactose in this. I would, right now, based on the nose, I'm getting, so I've mentioned this in my Brewery Amagang's goat milk stout. I usually get this tinny, almost metallic aroma when there's, well, number one, in milk stouts, but when there's lactose used in darker beers that aren't like pastry stouts or something crazy, just like a milk stout or something like this, a coffee cream porter, for instance, I always get the slight tinny metallic nose when they're using lactose. It doesn't usually translate into the taste. It's just on the nose, and I'm getting that right now. And I'd have to imagine they're using lactose in this. And if they're not, then my mind is playing tricks on me. But yeah, lots of coffee. Again, not super intense. Definitely a milky, creamy lactose presence to this one, almost vanilla-esque in the nose. A little bit of like a 70% cacao bar chocolate as well. Touch of caramel. It smells pretty good. Let's get into it. Cheers. I'm digging that. That's nice. It's definitely milk stout-esque in the taste. First off, the body is straight up, yeah, I was going to say straight up medium, like lower side of medium to full-on medium body. It's not watery, which is nice at 5.2. Yeah, lower side of medium body we'll go with. The mouthfeel, definitely creamy, smooth, slightly soft as well. Yeah, body and mouthfeel are pretty damn good. The taste, the nose kind of translates. There's, aside from that metallic part, this is the thing, what I mentioned about milk stouts, that metallic, tinny vibe does not translate like 98% of the time. It's very rare that it does. So I feel like they're using lactose. If they're saying cream on the can, I feel like they're using lactose. They don't mention it anywhere, but I would say they are. First off, the coffee is the biggest character in this beer. It's, like I said, not bold or intense, but it's definitely noticeable. The lactose adds this nice creamy mouthfeel, but also a slight vanilla tinge in there. More of that 70-80% cacao bar in the taste as well. Finishes relatively sweet with a decent dryness. Not really any bitterness to speak of on this beer, aside from maybe a slight coffee bitterness. But for the most part, this is sweet, and it has a nice dryness to kind of balance it out. I will say, if you're not a fan of sweeter porters, then you might not really like this one because it does have a sweeter overall kick to the beer. But I do dig that, so pretty solid. Yeah, this isn't overly complex, but the 4 or 5 characters that are there, I'm enjoying. So I think this is one of the better pressure drop beers that I've had so far. So as far as rating goes on the Buckstar Coffee Cream Porter from Pressure Drop, I'm going to give this a solid one more sip and then... You know what? I'm going to give it a solid 4 out of 5. I think Coffee Cream Porter is apt for the description of this beer. It definitely has coffee in it, has a creaminess to it, definitely porter vibes. I wish there was a little bit more bitterness to kind of offset everything because it is a bit sweet. I'll have no problem, finishing this can, but I wish it was a little bit less sweet. And I do wish there's more complexity, but at the end of the day, you're talking about a 5.2% porter, and I can't really complain. So that was Buckstar from Pressure Drop Brewing. I give it a 4 out of 5. If you see this in the Western New York area, by the time I post this still should be on shelves or relatively easy to get. I imagine at like Consumer Beverages or Premier Gourmet or even Brewed and Bottled in Lewiston. You probably still see cans of this kicking around. Give it a go. I think I paid like maybe $2.53 for a can of this. It wasn't that expensive, and it's pretty tasty. So appreciate you guys stopping by. Another beer review and another Western New York Wednesday. I should be back. Well, actually, no. Next week I'm doing a theme week, so there will be no Western New York Wednesday next week, but the day after Christmas 2018, there will be another Western New York Wednesday, so be on the lookout for that. And until then, have a good one. Cheers.